Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. So in this video I'm going to be talking about visa sponsorship mistakes, and I'm going to call this across those who are looking for the skilled worker visa sponsorship here in the United Kingdom. Couple of mistakes that you need to avoid if you're trying to get a sponsored role. And also I'm going to talk about those who are currently on a visa sponsorship job. Couple of mistakes that you should avoid. I've had opportunity to speak with hundreds of people in the United Kingdom who currently live and work here as immigrants, and I've been able to learn from many of the mistakes people have made in the past in order to help people who will be applying for sponsored roles in the future to avoiding the same mistakes. There's this common saying that it's better to learn from other people's mistakes than you learning from your mistake, if that makes sense. So I've had the chance to speak with people who have made those mistakes, and I've been able to help guide other people who are trying to get into that same space to avoid a couple of those mistakes. So if you're someone who's looking for sponsorship or you're currently on a visa sponsorship, you definitely want to stick to this video to the end in order to learn from those mistakes and how you can avoid it as an immigrant living and working in the UK. And by the way, my name is Daniel. If you're coming across my channel for the first time, I share everything UK immigration, transition into tech, and personal finance on this channel. You might want to hit on the red subscribe button to join the amazing growing family. And for my returning subscribers, thank you guys for being here. I really do appreciate you guys. So without further ado, let's get right into the video. So for this video, I'm going to start with those who are currently on the skilled worker visa. And I tell people for a fact that if you're sponsored by your employer, you're currently on a job and the employer actually sponsored you, there are a couple of things that you need to avoid and learn from, so you don't make some mistakes that will cost you not just your job but cost you your rights to live and work in the UK. Now, I say this to people that get to interact with, that when you're on a visa, you are under so much restrictions, and whatever decision you're going to make, in as much as they tell you, oh, you're an employee, you have the rights as an employee, oh, you're an employee, you have the standard rights that you've got. Please, I understand that is actually correct in a way. However, because you're at the mercy, in quotes, of your employer, there are a couple of things that you should try as much as possible to avoid. So I have this particular individual I spoke with a couple of weeks ago, and she currently works here in the UK on a tech role. She works as a UI UX designer with our employer here in the United Kingdom, and she obviously got a job. She started the role as a designer, and she has been sponsored for close to about 18 months thereabout now, and which was actually going fine. Then 18 months into the job, she felt, oh, the employer wasn't paying her as good as our other counterparts in other organization, and she decided to start applying for jobs elsewhere, which is absolutely fine. I personally did the same thing. I got my senior analyst role about 6, 7, 8 months into my job that sponsored me at that time, and I was able to move to a different organization without any hassle. However, when you're making that decisions, there's so many things you need to put into consideration, and this was one of the mistakes she made. Now, when she got when she started speaking with other employers, started applying for other jobs with other organizations, the mistake she made was that she didn't have that detailed conversation with those potential employer about her visa status. And this is one mistake you don't want to make. And so what happened was, she obviously started applying for jobs and she started getting a couple of interviews, and luckily for her, there was this particular interview she went for. She was quite impressive according to her, and she obviously landed the job. Now, this was where the mistake came into the picture. Now, when she landed the job, all through the process of application, the employer didn't even talk about sponsorship. She didn't even mention it. She assumed that they should know because she provided a couple of documents, and then she accepted an offer from one of the employers. They started doing like pre-employment checks before documentation and all of that, and she provided a current manager's details as one of our referees. So what happened was that the new organization contacted the employer, which obviously is the new our current line manager, to ask that, oh, this person just got the job, I would like to confirm. Now, don't forget, at this point, she hasn't had any conversation with the new employer or with the new organization she just got a job with about sponsorship, and which I think is an issue with the organization. Ideally, where you're offering anybody a job, you need to confirm the visa status and all of that. But because they said that she's currently working as a UI UX designer with the current employer, they just assume that she has the rights to live and work in the UK. I mean, most of these organizations don't really have a good detailed knowledge about, visas and immigration status. Most of them don't really have an idea. They oftentimes rely on their HR to sort all of that out during the point of onboarding and all. Now, this was where the issue came in. The current employer, the new manager, was like, "Oh, okay." He was surprised to get a reference request from someone that is working with him, and getting the new organization asking for referees, which obviously means that you're leaving, if that makes sense. Now, this was where the dilemma came in. Now, after the whole employment check was being done, she had that conversation with the employer, the new employer, and said, "Oh, I would like to let you know that I'm currently on the skilled worker visa, and I will need you to take over my sponsorship," which I think was a rookie mistake. I mean, nobody tries to get a new job without explicitly, telling the new employer that, "Oh, you're going to sponsor me," because obviously you can't leave your current employer if the new one is not sponsoring. And the commissioners came on, "Oh, so we actually don't know you need sponsorship." The new manager was like, "Oh, I had no idea, blah blah blah. I'm going to contact HR, and HR is going to speak with you to see the possibility of we taking over your sponsorship." So at that point, they decided to put our onboarding process on hold until they confirm with HR if they can sponsor. Now, there's not a lot of back and forth with HR. "Oh, this particular job, we have no budget for sponsoring. A whole lot of stuff started coming into the picture. We have to get authorization from the director, blah blah blah." I mean, a lot of questions started. Now she's on edge because our current employer, our current manager was already giving like a code fit, a bit reluctant, to do some things because they felt, "Oh, she's going to be leaving." Couple of projects that she was handling was being reassigned to someone else, or even the ones that she was still handling, she was being assigned someone to shadow her because they already have an idea that this person will be leaving soon, even though she hasn't dropped her resignation letter. But I mean, no employer gets a reference request for a new job and wouldn't expect it to leave at some point. So they started taking her off certain projects and all of that. And the new job she got, there's also another conversation of, are we going to sponsoring, are we not going to sponsoring? So she was really in a dilemma. And that's one thing I tell people, that when you're trying to get a new job, and that's what I did, don't create a connection between your current employer and your new employer if there's no certainty about sponsorship. When I got my own job, immediately the offer was sent. I said, "I need sponsorship, and before I can continue with the whole reference check, I would need a guarantee that sponsorship will be provided." And the agreement that I had with the employer at that time was that they provided the COS before I even allowed them contact my new employer, my current employer, for reference details. And the agreement was that my ability to use a COS is dependent on my successful pre-employment check, which I accepted because I knew there was nothing that was going to go around on the pre-employment check anyways. And when I contacted my manager, I already had my new COS, so if anything happens, I can always use that COS to apply for a new visa, which was a mistake she made. But anyway, on the long run, she was able to get all of the COS things sorted with the new employer, and she moved. I think she resumed a few days ago with the new employer. But imagine things had gone south. Probably the new employer said, "Oh, we actually stopped sponsoring." It means that she has to go back to her current employer, and there's going to be a whole lot of awkwardness on her job, which she definitely needs to leave, because they probably wouldn't trust her anymore. If they've got any promotion that they're planning for that particular road that she's on, they might not consider her because they will feel, "Oh, she's going to leave anytime soon anyways." So please, you need to make sure you don't make that rookie mistake when it comes to visa, if you're currently on a visa sponsorship here in the UK. Now, on the flip side, for those who are looking for visa sponsorship, I tell people that the way you apply for jobs if you're looking for visa sponsorship is completely different from how you would apply for a job if you don't need sponsorship. And these are part of the things I discuss with people on my one-to-one session within the TechDrive community. If you're trying to get a job in a new space that you haven't done, you haven't been before. So for example, you've never worked as a data analyst before, and you've learned all of the skill sets, you've built your capacity, and you want to get into data analytics, you definitely want to get support to building that work experience on your CV. And that's one of the things we do with those within the TechDrive community. If you're looking at, you have all of the skill sets already and you want to get into data analytics, you definitely want to leverage on the work experience program within the TechDrive community. Now, what this work experience program does is, it's not a training, you have the skill set already, but with the work experience program, you get to work on projects, you get to create your portfolio. We get to work on your CV for you, create a revamped CV. 90% of those who have spoken with that have been finding it difficult to land job interviews is because they have no relevant experience for the role they're applying for on their CV, and that's what we're trying to help you navigate around. So if you're looking for sponsorship, or you're looking for a data analytics role and you don't have any experience, then you want to look out for the work experience program with TechDrive. All you need to do is to send an email to info@techdriveuk.com to get more details about the work experience program, or send a WhatsApp message to the number displayed on your screen right now. Trust me, this work experience program is definitely going to be the bridge that's kind of help you cover that gap between trying to get a job or struggling to get a job to landing your first tech role here in the United Kingdom. And if you have any question about everything being said, please state in the comment section. If you're coming across my channel for the first time, do it to hit on the subscribe button to join the amazing growing family. And for my returning subscribers, thank you guys for being here. I really do appreciate you guys. So this will be the end of the video, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Thank you.